Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Girl MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyd and Michael Bullock. And guys, we got a loaded show for you tonight. We're recapping TNA. We got Smackdown from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and then we're going to be previewing tomorrow's Night of Champions. That also will be in Riyadh as well. So let's dive right in. We start out with TNA, a live episode that you actually got to see on Axe TV. You also, if you had the TNA Plus, however, there was a very special one. If you had YouTube, simulcast on YouTube through the TNA channel, you actually got this episode on the house. So this one was an on the house episode from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the UPNC Event Center. And here is what we had on this episode. Start out with the promo segment with Joe Henry. So it was Joe Henry, and it was interrupted by Trick Williams. So we had that going on. But the first fight of the night we had was Ryan Nemeth going up against Zachary Wentz. And when it was all said and done, winner of the bout in 4 minutes and 23 seconds was Zachary Wentz. Anthony, if you want to cover it, we can. I don't really think there's really much about this match. I mean, it was
no, we can move on.
All right. So I had a feeling. A lot of other promo stuff along the way. Then we had a women's battle royale, and the winner of the battle royale in 11 minutes and 27 seconds, and the woman that will receive a future TNA Knockouts Championship match, Ash by Elegance. Biggest win of her career by date. Normally, battle royales are tough to judge. I thought this was all right. I'm surprised Ash won it. I mean, am I happy? Oh, you bet your bottom dollar I'm happy Ash by Elegance won the Battle Royale, because Anthony Florio knows. He knows the love affair I have with her more than any other woman on the TNA roster. So for me, I'm happier than I'm grinning like the Cheshire Cat right now. So yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm loving it. Florio, it's yours. Ash gets an opportunity at the TNA women's title down the line.
What's your rating, MF?
It's hard to call, man. I gotta give it 2.5 to 3.
That's about right. Hey, I'll tell you what, they did a nice job of surprising us. Ash getting the shot is interesting, as she is a big enough star to be a threat to take the title. The rest of the match was a standard battle royal, but at least they didn't do anything too bad. So, and yes, MF is right. We always say it. Battle royals are very tricky to rate, but 2.5 to 3, I believe that is the correct rating for this. And of course, let's not forget, on the next Impact next week, it'll be Masha Slamovich versus Killer Kelly in a chain match. Yeah, you heard me. A chain match for the Knockouts Championship. I think Ash is getting her shot at Slammiversary. That's what I think. So we'll see how that goes. But 2.5 to 3, I agree with the ratings. So with that being said, MF, let's move on.
Well, next we had Mustafa Ali versus John Skyler. Mustafa Ali winning the match in 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
No.
We can gloss over that one. Then we had the Hardy Boys going up against the Northern Armory. The Hardys wins that match in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Again, not much to talk about on that one either.
Nope.
Then it leads us to the main event of the the next up was Moose versus Shane Saber and Jake Painter. Moose winning the match in 2:03. That was more of a showcase, because out at ringside was Leon Edwards, basically just to scout Moose more than anything else. And then Moose just dominated, just to show Leon Slater, I should say, hey, this is why I'm the champion. You might be the heir apparent, or you may be claimed to be the next X Division champion, you're going to have to take it from me in order to do that, and you ain't doing it, kid. So that was kind of their way of doing it. Main event of the evening was AJ Francis versus Mike Santana in a street fight. And when it was all said and done, winner of the bout, 14 minutes, 46 seconds, Mike Santana Florio, go.
Far and away the fight of the night here. I have 15:44 on my end. This is easily 4, maybe 4.25. Hell of a fight. And I got into it more than I expected. It's a good example of a match that is made better by the crowd, as they wanted to see Mike Santana beat up on AJ Francis. I had a great time with the whole thing. And Mike Santana looked like a star. He is going to be in the world title picture sooner than later. And if TNA does not pull the trigger on him eventually, I have no idea what they're missing. At least 4 stars, maybe 4.25. Easily the fight of the night. No doubt about it. So not much more to say. MF, if Santana's not in the world title picture, he damn sure should be.
Oh, yeah. And I think a lot of people are feeling that too right now. I think a lot of people feel like he should be. 4 stars, my rating for it. Great matchup, great battle. Yeah, that was amazing. And there's really nothing more to add. Overall, not a great show. I'm sorry. This was only maybe, maybe 4. And I'm being very generous with that. So, yeah, this was a very disappointing, too short for my liking. Matches weren't really that great. Maybe 1 or 2 standout matches. The Mike Santana versus AJ Francis was really the best thing and probably the only thing worthy about watching this week. Other than that, there was really nothing there for me at all. And then maybe the Women's Battle Royale. I'll give you that, too. So, yes. Those are the 2 matches. Other than that, everything else was a freaking throwaway. So this felt like a throwaway show. I'm sorry to say. And the thing is, I get it. Slammiversary is right down the line. They got a long way to go. But you kind of have to feel like you got to build it at some point. And to me, in the immortal words of Michael Bullock, this was a swing and a miss. Well, and Florio, it's yours.
They punted. That's what they did. But I can honestly only give this 2 to 3 out of 10, honestly. I mean, Mike Santana continues his incredible rise and very well could be added to the world title match at Slammiversary. The rest of the show only did so much for me, but Mike Santana versus AJ Francis was more than enough to boost things up. I mean, you really didn't miss much of anything. If you're pressed for time, like a lot of us are nowadays, I suggest the Knockouts Battle Royal and the main event. Other than that, as the old saying goes, nothing to see here. So 2 to 3 out of 10 for me. So with that being said, MF, let's move on to Friday Night Smackdown from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ahead of Night of Champions.
Yeah, we started out with the promo segment that was supposed to have been Cody Rhodes versus and Randy Orton. Well, yeah. Okay, if you were watching this live, I'm sorry, y'all. Let's just say the monkeys were in the trunk and they were monkeying around, because for 30 minutes it was total darkness. Everybody's wondering, what the hell is going on? What happened? All right, let's talk about it. During the promo segment, the feed dropped and everybody was looking around. Was it WWE's fault? Was it Netflix's fault? Was it what did Riyadh goof up? What happened? It happened in Riyadh. A power outage hit the area and it knocked down everything. Communications from WWE, the lights went out. So everything was in total darkness for 30 minutes. So, sorry, folks. I don't know how they're going to do this. I don't know how they were able to maneuver it around for us, but they had Wade Barrett, they had Michael Cole, they apologized for the inconvenience. WWE is basically saying that it happened in Riyadh, that it was a Riyadh problem. They lost power, and the official and actually a spokesman for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia did come out and confirm, yeah, it was our bad. The power grid went out. It's not on. It's not WWE is not responsible for this. The everything went down in the surrounding area, so it was a power outage. That's what happened. Now I don't know if there was bad weather. I don't know if it was just there was an overload on the power grid. I don't know that. But we do know that we lost 30 minutes of SmackDown. That sucks. Live TV. Things happen for a reason. Oops. That's all I can say about that. But yeah. So it was supposed to be a final filler for for the the show, and yeah, so it was definitely a bad situation. A very unfortunate, to say the very least, Anthony Florio, because you kind of feel like, man, this would have been cool. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, you saw the crown in the ring, the final push for the King of the Ring, and then the lights went out. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Yeah.
Yep, you know that song.
Boy, do I.
Yeah.
But this was the segment that experienced technical difficulties in the arena, so all of the footage looked a little grainy. Other than the weird camera angles, this was a pretty standard promo exchange. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes have been down this road before, so there wasn't much new ground to cover. They did the best they could, but it would be hard for anyone in their position to make this match feel more interesting. Even though, out of all the matches on this Night of Champions card tomorrow, MF, you know, and I know that out of all the matches on this card, this one right here, this is the one that we are going to have the most vested interest in.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's your guy, Randy Orton, the Viper, the Apex Predator, the Legend Killer, squaring off against my guy, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And we'll talk about it in a little bit when we preview Night of Champions. But it's very unfortunate that what happened with the technical difficulties. That this should have been a great promo. I mean, this should have been at least a top 2 segment of the night. But like I said, it was a standard promo. It sucks what happened. Of all the things of all the times to have a technical difficulty, it had to be during this. Had to be during our guys here. Mentor versus protege, going back to their days in Legacy. We'll have more on that in a little bit, but nonetheless, they did the best they could. Like I said, it was fine for what it was. Standard promo exchange, and it diminishes the excitement only for a little bit. Maybe to some people, it diminishes their excitement for this match, but MF and I are not some people. We're still excited about this match, and I'll save my pleasantries for when we preview the match. So not much more to say on it. Michael Bullock, of all the things, of all the times to have technical difficulties, you had to have it while these two guys are out there, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, MF's guy, my guy. Why?
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation. I mean, I mean, for something like that to happen, I mean, sometimes it's just tough to predict things, and this was unpredictable. I mean, I think everything was going to run smoothly, and then this happens, and it had to be, unfortunately, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. So, and what we did see was, I mean, I thought it was a good build towards their big matchup tomorrow night. So, yeah, I think they did the best they could during that time. So, um, there's really nothing more to say. It's your Sledge.
Yeah, and then it does lead us to the first bout of the night. Um, that was that. Once we had through all that, we did get this Jimmy Uso versus JC Mateo. When it was all said and done, it was JC Mateo winning the match in roughly 6 minutes. But there was a little bit of drama after the match was over. Solo trying to, try to get Big Jim to come back to say, hey, we could welcome you back with open arms. Yeah, he basically, Jimmy's like, yeah, no, slap in the face, beat down ensues. Then Jacob Fatu comes out, clears the ring, and then there was a moment where it looked like Fatu and Jace, it looked like Jimmy and Fatu were gonna go, but then Fatu told Jacob, hey, get out of the way. Super kick to Solo to end the segment. Anthony, it's yours.
Why couldn't there have been a technical difficulty during this? I mean, but this match didn't have much to it and retread familiar ground. But if this story is going to move forward, then it was worth it. So I'm just going to give it 2.5 stars. That's the best I can go. Tomorrow Night of Champions, it'll be Jacob Fatu defending the United States Heavyweight Championship against Solo Sikoa. We'll get into a preview of that in a bit. So not much more to say. 2.5 is my rating. So Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 2.5 for me as well. I mean, they did the best they could when it comes to this match. I mean, it could have been better, but yeah. So there's really nothing more for me to say. So it's your Sledge.
Yeah, so the next thing that we did have was, 2.5 stars, total agreement. I think they did a really good job with it, solid for what it was worth. And now, next up in the story we have was the women's United States title on the line. Whoa, what the heck? Did he hit the wrong button? He must have. All right, well, we just lost Michael Bullock for the moment. He should be coming back any second. Oh, there it goes. Hit the wrong button there, Bullock.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Well, good thing you did. Good thing you're back because you're covering this one, man. It is the women's United States title on the line. The champions Zelina Vega, the challenger Julia, winner of the bout, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And new women's United States champion, the beautiful madness, Julia is the champion. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
I'll give this about 2.5 for the effort here. I mean, look, this was definitely her. Zelina's toughest challenge, and as soon as I heard this match, I'm like thinking, yeah, Julia's gonna become the new champion. That's what happened here. I mean, she had a good run, but I think this was Julia's time. So her first title on the main roster. So we'll see what she does with it. So 2.5 for me. It's your Sledge.
All right. This is going to be a hot take. This is going to piss off a lot of fans. And I think this is really going to get a major uproar. Julia has surpassed Stephanie Valcourt as the Women's Rookie of the Year now. Now that she has a main roster title, and because of everything that has happened, it's been 1A versus 1. 1 versus 1A. Julia now takes the lead for Female Rookie of the Year. She has surpassed Stephanie Valcourt as of right now. because of her winning this championship here today. And this is without a doubt, and you gotta mirror the image, because if there's two women who's really stood out more than any others right now in 2025, Julia and Stephanie Valcour has been 1-1. They've been basically the same path, the same everything. Now, the injury to Julia definitely hurted her, and it probably stunted her growth. Where Stephanie got bigger, she got better, she became a bigger name than Julia. Until now, Julia has leapfrogged over Stephanie Valcour because of this title win right now, where her holding the Women's United States Championship, she's leapfrogged over Stephanie Valcour, in my opinion, for the Women's Rookie of the Year. Now, Stephanie can get it back. She can. She could easily get this back. But right now, Julia is ahead over Stephanie Valcour. I don't give a damn what you think. I don't give a damn if you get offended. But that's my opinion alone. So this is about a 2.5-star match. This was a great moment. History made. Unprecedented crowning. Florio, go.
Oh, my brother. Oh, testify.
I'm not even going to argue. Not even going to argue.
I'm not either. I think Fletch made his point loud and clear.
2.5, 2 3/4. This match had some weak points, but it had a lot more good than bad. Both women put in a great effort. And Julia called the U.S. title a stepping stone in her promo. And Wade Barrett took exception to that on behalf of every former champion. Of course, the only former champion is Chelsea Green, and now Zelina Vega. So, so I'll tell you what. I mean, you guys know how high I am on Julia, and I'm not going to lie. I was very happy. Bullock and I had our Smackdown chat tonight, but then again, we did have a moment where we had to step away for a little bit, but unfortunately, it was during this moment, but that's okay. I got to enjoy it anyway, so excuse me, but needless to say, I'm over the moon with Julia winning this title, and a great bounce back for her after having to drop the NXT Women's Championship to Stephanie Valcour at the Roadblock in Madison Square Garden at the Paramount Theater in March, then getting injured, and now here she is, the Women's United States Champion. And I believe that she has the potential to be the most dominant and best champion of this title yet. I think she's going to hold that thing longer than Chelsea and Zelina combined. That's just how I feel about it. So congratulations, Julia. The beautiful madness. I'm beyond thrilled. I'm beyond over the moon. And you couldn't ask for a better Women's United States Champion. No disrespect to Zelina Vega. I mean,
no, none at all.
She defended that title valiantly. She had a solid 2-month run with it when she dethroned Chelsea Green on the Smackdown after WrestleMania. But you knew going into this that she, with all due respect to her, she had no chance against Julia. When this match was announced, I said to myself, oh yeah, Julia's winning this thing. There is no doubt about it. And lo and behold, here we are. So, MF, God help your show, man. God help SmackDown with the beautiful madness holding that Women's United States Championship. She's gonna hold that thing as long as she wants it. There's no doubt.
And the thing is, I don't mind, because definitely like Julia. I like her style. I like her look. And with this U.S. title, like some of the photos that's already popping up, where her in that bodysuit with that title,
Yes.
I'm gonna say, man, she looks good with it.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I love Zelina, and this hurts. But the thing is, again, I feel like for Zelina, I think something bigger and better is for her. I think that women's title is definitely in her future. And I know a lot of people feels like the U.S. women's title was perfect for Zelina, but you have to understand that 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 is a stepping stone, like she said. And I get why Wade got a little offended, but Wade, that is exactly what it's meant for. To be for that belt to propel you to something bigger and better. That's why I wasn't as offended like he was about saying, oh, that belt is a stepping stone for me. No, because she's thinking bigger and better. That's the mindset you need to be in WWE. I don't know what you want to be thinking. It's like with any wrestling organization. When you got a secondary belt, what's the one thing you're thinking of? The top, the world championship, whatever that may be. So for somebody to say, oh no, that belt is a stepping stone for me to be something bigger and better. That's not offensive. That is logical and smart to say. That's what you want to hear in a wrestler. You want to be a champion? You be that champion, but you think it's bigger and better beyond that. I got no problems with what she said. No issues.
Neither do I. So
I don't know what pissed in Wade Barrett's coffee this morning, but whatever it was, I don't want it. You can sit down there, Mr. Britt. God save the king for that, by the way.
Probably got up on the wrong side of the bed.
You're on an absolute roll tonight, man. Woo.
It's all right, man. I'm good.
Well, we got more.
I know, but no, man, oh man.
I'm not. Oh, trust me, I'm not in a ranting mood.
And no. I was just saying, man, you are on fire tonight.
Yeah. Compliment.
That's a compliment, man. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, next up, speaking of Wade Barrett, he did do an interview. Well, he had a little summit with our two women that will be in the Queen of the Ring final, which was Asuka, Jade Cargill, interrupted by Naomi. And basically, she was bragging about, that she'll ruin either of the women's nights by basically cashing in the Money in the Bank at SummerSlam, whoever is the champion. This is why. Now, this is why I want to say is that okay. I honestly don't think that she's going after the Raw Women's title. So obviously, for her to say that to Asuka doesn't make any sense. If she wants to go after Jade, now this makes all the sense in the world. Because she's going to want to do everything in her power to make sure Jade does not walk away with the belt and that she gets it herself. So, how are you going to play this? So, Asuka versus Jade, this is going to be very telling how this plays out. If Asuka wins the Queen of the Ring tomorrow, where it's a very good possibility, it's Io versus Asuka. The storyline says it for themselves. Like, there is nothing else you add to this storyline. Like, two best friends from Damage Control going at it, and we know that the world would clamor for this matchup. Now, obviously, there's our last women's standing match here today. We'll get into that in a little bit. Jade Cargill, if she wins the Queen of the Ring, gets to face off against the SmackDown Women's Champion, or the WWE Women's Champion. I apologize. The SmackDown Women's title is retired. But whoever is the Women's Champion got to face Jade Cargill if Jade wins the Queen of the Ring at SummerSlam at MetLife. Now, this would be more logical for Naomi because you know her hatred for Jade. You know she is hell bent on denying Jade that title. And she will do whatever it takes to make sure that Jade does not walk away with that belt. And for her own personal gain, to try to win that title and cement her legacy. So if Jade wins the Queen of the Ring, I could see a cash in at SummerSlam, no doubt. If it's Asuka, I don't see any reason why Naomi would go after. And where on top of that, she's made no bones about it. Even in her post thing interview, she already made it clear that she's going after the WWE Women's title. She's already said, I'm staying on SmackDown. I'm going after Tiffany Stratton or whoever that champion is. She has made no bones about her going after the Raw Women's title. So anybody who's thinking, oh, she's just glossing to go after the women's title on Monday Night Raw, I don't think so. Because if she does, she contradicted herself. That's all I'm just saying. So we'll see how this Queen of the Ring final is going. At first, I said Jade Cargill, but then I started thinking Io versus Asuka. I might like that even better. So I don't know. I'm torn on who I want to pick for tomorrow. Anthony, it's yours.
This was a little more effective than the men's King of the Ring segment because it set up some tension and addressed another feud in the process. And one very notable observation that I have during this, Asuka was very over with the crowd, and she had them in the palm of her hand. You heard that crowd. That crowd was more for Asuka than they were for Jade. I think Jade got some boos in there. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on there. But even if Jade wins the Queen of the Ring, they could still set up Io and Asuka. There's still a way they can get there. I mean, that's the match we want to see. That's a SummerSlam worthy match. And they could have Asuka probably win some contender match or something. Either a contender match or a battle royal or something along that line. But even if Asuka does not win Queen of the Ring, MF, I do believe they can still find a way to get to Io and Asuka. They can still find a way to get there. But I'll have more on Jade and the whole thing in just in a little bit when we preview the Queen of the Ring match. But a little more effective than the men's segment, like I said, and it was because it set up some tension and addressed another feud in the process. So that's my takeaway. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is definitely a little more intriguing than the men's one because it does, like you said, set up some tensions and some possibilities, like with maybe like you said with Jade, if she were to win, then challenge Tiffany for the title at SummerSlam. Maybe this would set up the potential for a cash in, and also like you could also still do either way you could also still do Io and Asuka without Asuka even winning it. So we'll see how it all plays out come tomorrow. So there's really nothing more to say. So it's yours, Fletch.
MF, are you there?
My apologies, forgot to unmute my mic. Next up we had was a tag team matchup as it was DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They went up against Andrade and Rey Fenix, winners of the bout, 14 minutes and 40 seconds. Andrade and Rey Fenix gets the win. Anthony Florio, whoo, this was good.
Yes, it was. This was a really fun match that saw all four guys do some great work. The dives from Andrade and Phoenix looked great, and that's really, I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, Phoenix and Andrade, they kept the match competitive and they traded control several times before getting to the finish. And this is easily 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. You can make an argument for fight of the night, although there's another match on this show that might have been a bit better, but nonetheless, what a win for Andrade and Rey Fenix, and those two as a short-term tag team, I could see it. I mean, that could be a fun little tag team there. And Andrade and Johnny Gargano, every time, I mean, seeing them together in this match, you cannot help but think about the 5-star classic those two had in Philadelphia on that NXT takeover during the Royal Rumble 2018 weekend when they battled for the NXT Championship. One of the greatest NXT Championship matches of all time. 5-star classic and then some. If you haven't seen it, go to Peacock and go out of your way to watch it. It was that damn good. And they picked up right where they left off 7+ years ago. So there isn't really much for me to say on this. So 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Very good match. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, I mean, we saw this during our Smackdown chat. We ate this one up. And some of the moves in this match were insane. But Rey Fenix and Andrade as a tag team, that could work.
Yeah, that definitely could work. What was your rating again?
I'm sorry about that. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star is my rating.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely this was fun. This was entertaining. This was what you expect in a match when you got these teams in there. So 3.5, 3 3/4. I definitely enjoyed it. So there's really nothing more to say except it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, 3.5. I thought they did a really good job with it. So we just move on right along. And all right, next up we did have after this was for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Or let me see, just double check. Yeah. So all right. So the next thing we had was that R-Truth was looking for John Cena. Obviously, R-Truth wanted to get a little bit of a payback for what happened. And early in the night, Aleister Black was talking to Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, Raw general manager, and R-Truth basically cut the line and was like, "I want Cena, this and that. You know what? I'm gonna look for him." And then basically Aleister's like, he doesn't even say a word. Just quiets Pierce and all this and walks away. So Truth's looking for Cena. You found somebody else. Aleister Black. Black Mask. Out goes Truth. Yup. And guess what? Truth, you got what you deserve, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm sorry. You poked the bear. Aleister was there. You wanted to cut the line? That's what you get for cutting the line. You got your ass knocked out. No complaints. No zero tolerance. No pity. No bullshit. You got what you deserve, you stupid son of a bitch. That's all I say about that. And then Damian Priest comes up and is like, "Hey, what's your deal?" He's like, "Well, if you're going to tell the truth, you can say it to his face." And basically Aleister got in Damian's. He's like, "Yeah, you're right." And when you tell your buddy. And when your buddy wakes up, you tell your buddy, "I'm ready anytime." Walks away. So that's going to lead to a fight. between Aleister Black and R-Truth, and that's going to get interesting. And then Priest had something with Carmelo Hayes. All right, it looks like we got some matches lined up down the line. Aleister Black versus R-Truth, Damian Priest and Carmelo Hayes. I like it. Fresh face matchups. Never had these before. And the thing is, with the R-Truth Damian Aleister Black thing, in a way, it makes sense. So yeah, you try to cut the line, that's what you get. Sorry. You played right. You played yourself like a sucker on that one. That's all I'm saying about it. So next up we had was after that was the Street Profits versus members of the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy for the tag team titles. Unfortunately, the fight gets thrown out in 6 minutes and 30 seconds because a whole bunch of tag teams decided they wanted to jump in the fray and get involved in this one. So, yeah, nothing more to say. I guess we can call this an NA by default. This leads us to the last woman standing. Anthony, you lead off on this one. Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. And Tiffany Stratton is the last woman standing. She wins it in 17:25.
Fight of the night here. 4 to 4 1/4 stars. This was never going to be a match full of technical exchanges. This was designed to be as hardcore as they could get away with. And in that regard, they succeeded. And I'm hopeful. And, of course, most of the action took place during the break. The table spot at ringside was simple and effective. I'm not going to... Now, I'm not trying to sound like a pervert or anything, but I want to say this. We have to give it up because every time that they go to Saudi Arabia, they make the bodysuits on the women look more and more better every time.
Yes.
They look even more beautiful in those things. My God. But I mentioned that because I thought Tiffany's bodysuit looked really, really awesome and really cool. Almost like a pink Power Ranger almost. I mean,
there was a little bit. I kind of had the feeling of a Power Ranger on that one. I agree. Yes.
Like the legendary pink Power Ranger. So, but all kidding aside, I mean, I love. I mean, heck, every woman that we saw on the show tonight, every bodysuit on every woman that we saw on that show tonight, every one of them looked great. All of them did. They all did. So, credit where credit is due to the people in WWE who make that possible. Well done. So, but incredible match. 4 to 4 1/4 stars. This is definitely the fight of the night. Say what you want about Nia Jax. I mean, I'm not a fan of Nia Jax. Michael Bullock's not a fan of Nia Jax, but when she puts the effort in and she gets a good dance partner like Tiffany, yeah. I mean, they have great chemistry. There is no denying it. But with all due respect, please let this be the end of this feud. It's been done to death. We've seen it. We've seen it way too many times. Hopefully Tiffany can move on. Hopefully Nia can move on. And that is that. So fight of the night for me. This was easily 4, maybe 4 1/4. Great last woman standing match. The right woman won. And I don't know what else there is to say. So Michael Bullock, fight of the night for me. This was easily 4, teetering on 4 1/4. Great last woman standing match. We had a lot of fun with this during our SmackDown chat tonight. And most important thing is the right woman won. And a message from myself and Bullock to Papa H and Creative. Don't ever do this match again.
Yeah, we don't need to see this again. I mean, even though the match was good here, but this rivalry needs to end right here, right now. because I'm telling you this right now. If we get another match between these two for the title, I'm swear I'm gonna go off, and I'm gonna go off the deep end, because it's been done, and Tiffany needs to move on to better things. Hopefully, better competition. So yeah, 4.25. Fight of the night. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, four stars, definitely one of the fight of the nights, and yeah, they did really well with it. So I don't think there's really much for us to say here. They did a really good job, solid matchup, to say the very least. And yeah, so we move on, and the next thing that we do have here, I believe. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry. All right. And the next thing that we had on this show, come on. All right. So, oh, okay. It's the promo segment. So, next up, guys. Well, next week, 2 bits of news. All right. So, for the Monday Night Raw viewers, just to let you guys know, there's a special start time, 6 p.m. Eastern, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Netflix, 6 p.m. And starting next week, SmackDown goes back to 2 hours. That's right. Tonight was the last night for the 3 hour shows. 2 hours starting next week. And unfortunately, because it's 4th of July, we will not be on. However, the week after the next episode of the Cerebral Smack Talk, we are going back to 10:30 Eastern. We are now out of 11. We're going back to 10:30. We will not be doing it next week because obviously 4th of July. I'm not going to make the boys work on the 4th of July. So we'll be back on July 11th, 10:30 for the Cerebral Smack Talk on Braves Fan 95. That's when we'll be doing, again, traditionally TNA and SmackDown Live. So that will be when we go back to the 10:30 formats. All right. The promo segment between John Cena and CM Punk was our main event of the evening. And Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, I definitely enjoyed this segment here. Basically, first John Cena, of course, came out, did his usual shtick, as he always has done as the champion, of course, bullying the referee. I mean, not the referee, the ring announcer, to say all the things that he's done since he's become champion, and then basically says, "Oh, basically get a look at for the last time at a real champion and a real winner, and that CM Punk is nothing more than a loser. I've outplayed him. I've outclassed him, and I was the voice of the voiceless." And well, just when you thought that he was wasn't going to be outdone, well, CM Punk. Well, first off, Fletch, you heard a familiar theme. It was the Doctor Thugonomics theme, but it didn't say word life. It was Punk life. So this was basically CM Punk saying, "You know what? You wanted to steal my thunder with my pipe bombs? I'm gonna steal your freaking thunder. Going back old school with the Doctor of Thugonomics." Yeah, and you could just see the look on Cena's face was like, "What the hell?" And Punk was saying, "You know what?" And here's the one thing that he said that I really enjoyed. He basically says, "You know what? You buried more talent than the Undertaker." And you know what? You're the champ, Cena, and you've lost respect. You've lost the respect of everybody. And I would have retired too if this company rehired my ex and basically said, you know what, Cena, you got good movie roles, but then we see Batista act and realize Cena's not all that. And he also accused Cena of being more problematic than Hogan. When it comes to the best in the world, Punk is the vessel. Millions chant his name, but at Cena, they chant, "You can't wrestle." And then Punk said, you know, I will be here in 6 months while John Cena washes underwear for James Gunn. And no matter how many times he tries, he'll always be the Marine. We all see Cena now as a washed up bum. 14 years ago today, I dropped a pipe bomb, and now Cena, you try to make it all about yourself. You're a 17-time world champ, but you've never been in my class. And then he closed out with one thing, Fletch, and he said, I'm going to make there's one more wish to make. You're going to lose. You're going to lose to Kendrick because, bitch, you're my Drake. And so do you, John Cena? You just got punked, bitch. And this is why we say that CM Punk is the voice of the voiceless. And why he drops those pipe bombs, well, you didn't think for a minute that CM Punk was going to have a rebuttal after last week? Don't you know who you're messing with? And after this, I am more hyped up for this match. So there's really nothing more to say, Fletch. Punk was on top. I mean, Cena dropped the pipe bomb, but Punk fought. I mean, he rebutted back and then some.
There's a lot of people who definitely sees it that Michael Bullock says, and then there are those out there that almost wants to be the negative Nancy's, and who basically said that Punk lost his fastball, that Punk's promo came off very weak. And there's a lot of people, I'm not saying that it's me, but there's a lot of content creators who's had a lot of views about CM Punk within the last day or so. Either from his comments that he made, somewhat apologizing to the Saudi Arabia for the comments that he made years ago towards The Miz and everything else, talking about the blood money and the whole 9 yards, where some people call him a hypocrite. Some called him a sellout. And then you have guys like Jonathan Coachman who said things that I can't even repeat here on air. And it was bad. Like, disgustingly bad. Like, I'm not even going to go there.
I don't know what Coach's problem with this. I mean, to say things that he said, which are disgusting.
Again, I can't even repeat on the air. Like, it was.
I don't even want to know what it is.
Like, the comments out there. Go on X, go on Facebook. He posted it. The whole world knows about it, and it's up there. I don't need. If Loyo, you want to find the link and link it onto the group to the private chat, go right ahead, Florio, so that you can show Bullock what I'm talking about, because I'm not going to repeat it here on air. I'm not. But there are people who are going to feel that way. Now, Was it better than what Cena did? I say it was on par. I'm not saying it was better than Cena, because Cena hit Punk with some hard truths, but so did Punk. Now, talking about burying guys more than The Undertaker, I think Triple H has has buried more bodies than John Cena. Let's be realistic here now, folks. Let's be realistic. So, that is kind of a little bit of a far-fetched to me than anything else. But, like I said, some of it was great. I'm not saying that it was all bad. But there was even some people that was cringing over the fact that Punk was doing the things, because there was some people that called him out for forgetting his lines, slipping up in certain areas, that it wasn't a perfect promo, that, and some people even said that he looked freaking ridiculous in the getup that he was wearing. Like, they were going that hardcore on CM Punk. So you got those fans. You got the haters. They're going to come after Punk, and they're coming out on full force. Now, like I said, it was good. It was solid, but it wasn't perfect. Not in the way that you're trying to portray it here, Michael Bullock, because, like I said, there was some slip-ups. It looked like Punk lost his place in certain areas. It wasn't as fluent, but trust me.
I'm not saying it was perfect.
No, but the thing is that I get where you're coming from, but the problem is that I don't know if it's going to hold enough water, because, again, I think something's going to happen that it's going to make Cena keep the belt. We'll get into that in a little bit, but still.
Yeah, you wonder if this pissed Cena off to the point that he might not care about winning. Like, we've seen him do, like, with maybe he'll just use the belt as a weapon numerous times.
Well, he may, but there's also two other people that I see that could get involved. And you know who I'm talking about.
I think I know one of them.
Freaking Rollins. Do you honestly think that Seth Rollins is going to want CM Punk to be the WWE champion?
Absolutely not.
And you want to know? And you want to know why? Because
money in the bank.
Because of the fact, no, and it's not just money in the bank. He does not want CM Punk to be the one to save wrestling. He doesn't want it. He'd rather do it himself. He doesn't want some blowhard that he hates with a passion to be the one to save wrestling. No, because he, in his mind, in Seth freaking Rollins' mind, I'm the be-all, the end-all. I'm the one that's going to be saving wrestling, because I am the Messiah, the leader of the Oracle. And yes, that is the group's name now, the Oracle. That is the vision that he talks about. That is the power of the Money in the Bank. Everybody kind of wondered, Seth's going to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. Do you honestly think that Seth freaking Rollins gives a damn about what you think? No. What is he going to do? By using his power, he's going to screw CM Punk because he can. Because he's got two watchdogs, oh, by the way, that can take him out at any time. Because he, in his own mind, wants to create the WWE vision for himself. And he doesn't give a damn who you care or who you're going to walk over to get to that point. So everybody's thinking about, what about, he's going to go after the world title because of the fact that Goldberg's going to be easy pickings. Do you honestly think that's going to be the vision? No. And the thing is, John Cena says something very interesting, that there was going to be something major at the end of this event. Something that's going to shake the WWE to the core. Why not? Seth freaking Rollins, the Messiah himself, becomes WWE champion by screwing over CM Punk, by screwing over John Cena. And then the thing is, he'll be like, I saved wrestling by being your champion. Seth, you don't save us. You suffer us into a deeper depression. Why? Because nobody wants you as the WWE champion. I don't want it. Florio doesn't want it. Michael Bullock doesn't want it. We don't want you as the WWE champion. We don't need you as the WWE champion. That is the vision that I have. You want a real champion? Then fine. If you want to go Cody Rhodes, fine. I guess we can live with Cody Rhodes. You want to go Roman Reigns? Fine, we can go Roman Reigns. If CM Punk is the champion, fine. I'm good with that. I don't have a problem with it. But for Rollins to be the one to win the title, to be the champion, to be this so-called Messiah? No, bro. You're not the visionary. You're not a revolutionary. You're a sheep in wolf's clothing, my friend. You don't deserve or should be anywhere close to the WWE title. You want the World Heavyweight Championship, by all means, bro. I'll gladly take you there. But don't you even effing dare come to SmackDown. Don't do it, Seth.
Yeah, because the thing is, Seth, you do that. What's the old saying? You don't poke a viper. You do that, the viper's poison is going to be so bad, you're probably going to be like, I never should have done what I said I was going to do. So take those words wisely, Seth. You better take those words wisely, because if you think you're going to do what you say you're going to do, no. Go after the World Heavyweight title, that's fine. But you cross paths to SmackDown and take that WWE title? No. You're not going to like the reaction of good old
You better
MF
batten
Michael
down
Fletcher.
the hatches, because if he wins that title, I swear, if he goes to after the WWE Championship and he catches in Money in the Bank and wins it, Viper rant. And you better be ready, because this will be the biggest one yet.
You hear that, Seth? As Naomi would say, you better proceed with caution, because this Viper's going to strike, and he is going to strike viciously and violently. You better think about it, Seth, or Fletch is going to go maybe one of the biggest cerebral Viper rants in a long time.
So really nothing more to say. I already spoke my piece on it. Florio, go.
Very, very cool visual. Very fun segment here. And I told Bullock during our SmackDown chat that CM Punk needed a strong rebuttal after what happened the week before. Yeah, that was definitely a strong rebuttal here tonight. Coming out in the old Cena Dr. Thugonomics gear. I know it wasn't for everybody, but I enjoyed it. It was absolutely well done. Both men have roasted each other. They punked each other out. Now it's bell time. Let's get it on and let's see what happens. So we got a lot more to get into here, so we're not going to waste too much time on this. So fun segment. I very much enjoyed it. Bullock and I, we had a kick out of this during our Smackdown chat, no doubt about it. So with that being said, overall review time.
Okay, so I mean,
I think it goes to you, Fletch.
all right, solid show. 7 out of 10. Florio, go.
7.5 out of 10. The final episode of Smackdown before Night of Champions was a surprisingly brisk show, considering how much ground it covered. Not only did we get a little bit of build-up for most of the bouts that will take place at Night of Champions, but we also got a lot of stuff that was solely booked to make this show feel special. 3 title matches would make most episodes of TV feel like a bigger deal. But when a title change occurs, it's that much more entertaining. Julia winning the Women's U.S. Championship was not necessarily shocking, but it was a great moment for her this early in her career. The tag match with DIY, Andrade, and Rey Fenix was the best bell-to-bell performance on the entire show, but the Profits and Wyatts probably would have surpassed them had they been given more time and a clean finish. 7.5 for me. Bullock, your thoughts, and then we'll get into Night of Champions preview.
7.5 for me. There's nothing more to say. Let's get into our preview of Night of Champions.
All right, guys, and here we go. Night of Champions. We start out with a singles matchup: Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. I kind of feel like this is going to be Sami, even though I think Kross is really going to look good in the match. But this is Sami. This is his region. This is his area. Kross got a good ovation from the crowd during the presser. So I think it's going to be Karrion Kross. It's going to be Sami Zayn winning the match. More than anything else, Anthony, it's yours.
Sami Zayn needs a win here, and they've paired him with the right man to get the job done. Aside from being on the winning side of War Games, Sami Zayn has not won a premium live event match since he defeated Braun Breaker almost a year ago at Money in the Bank 2024. Karrion Kross has struggled to gain any momentum on the main roster, and once there was the start of a swell of support for him around WrestleMania. WWE did nothing with him other than continuing the mind game stuff backstage. Sami Zayn needs a little bump in his momentum, and Karrion Kross doesn't really have any reason to get the win here other than to set up an unnecessary rematch. So I'm torn. I'm back and forth on this. I thought maybe Karrion Kross does. I mean, if Karrion does steal it, I mean, it would be a big win for him because he's had a lot of support and there have been talks about pushing him. And a great way to start pushing him would be to give him a win here. But for right now, I have to go with my gut and say that Sami Zayn wins this match, even though I kind of want to see Karrion Kross get it. He's long overdue for a win, so I'll leave it at that. So I got to go with my gut on this one. Sami wins, but Bullock, I would not at all be surprised if Karrion Kross does win, and I kind of want to see him pull it out now.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I disagree with you guys. I'm going with Karrion Kross because the thing is, I mean, the fans they've been behind this Karrion Kross, and they've been wanting. It's like they've been trying to send a message. They want this guy to be pushed, and I think the best way to do it is to get him. I mean, when was the last time Karrion Kross has had a signature win on the main roster?
That I don't know, but I do know his last PLE singles match, Crown Jewel, November of 2022 against Drew McIntyre.
So it's been almost 3 years since he's had a singles premium live event match. 2.5 to almost 3 years. This man, if you're gonna push him, he's due for a big time win. So I'm gonna take a chance. I'm going with him, and You know where I'm going with, Florio. You know where I'm going with what I'm about
You're
to
going
say.
with Karrion Kross to win this
No,
match.
that's what I'm going with. But what's the thing you and I have been known to say?
Bold predictions.
Yes, a bold prediction here. I'm going with Karrion Kross to pull it off.
Nice bold prediction. I appreciate it. I don't see it. Sorry, I don't think it's gonna
Hey,
happen.
if I'm wrong, I'll eat that slice of
Yeah,
humble pie and enjoy it.
yeah. I kind of have to feel like this is Sammy. I just don't feel like he's gonna lose it, especially in this part of the world, in this region where Sammy is really well over. I think this is Sammy's win, and I think it's gonna eventually lead to something bigger. Don't get me wrong, Karrion Kross deserves a push and does because this guy is amazing, and I'm glad that he's finally getting that time. And you've heard the reaction from the fans who's been trying to push for this guy to get an opportunity, and they did. So next up, we got is Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley in a street fight. Anthony, it is yours.
Yeah, there's only one way this one goes. It's unfortunate that Liv Morgan is injured, but the issues between Rhea Ripley and Morgan Rodriguez Judgment Day have gone on for so long that hopefully this match is a chance to end things and let Ripley and Morgan be fully separated when Morgan is healthy again. As for this match, the street fight stipulation should allow it to be a straight brawl, which will do well to hide some of Rodriguez's shortcomings and should make for a watchable match. The only woman who should get the win is Ripley, who can take the win forward into bigger and better and hopefully fresher things. I'm going to go with Rhea to win this match. The only way that I can see Raquel winning this match is if Roxanne Perez gets involved. That's the only way I see Raquel winning this. But for right now, I got to go with the Eradicator. I got to go with Mommy. I got to go with Rhea Bloody Ripley to win this match. Wouldn't you agree, Bullock?
I agree. I gotta go with Mommy Rhea Ripley to win this. And like you said, the only way I see Raquel winning this is if Roxanne Perez does get involved. So right now, I'm going with Rhea. What says you, Fletch?
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys on this one too. I totally agree. I think it's gonna be I think it is gonna be Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea's gonna win it. So yeah, there's no doubt about it in my mind. I think Rhea's gonna win it. Nothing more to say. We do indeed move on. So next up on this one, I believe this is the U.S. Championship fight: Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. And yeah, so Michael Bullock, it's yours.
It's gotta be Jacob Fatu to retain the title. I mean, I think it's too soon for him to lose it. So Jacob wins. It's your Sledge.
The only way Jacob loses the belt is if there's a new member of the new bloodline that shows up out of nowhere. There are rumors about maybe Hikuleo debuting, and they actually even said that Hikuleo has been working dark fights, so we know he's definitely on his way. But here's the big thing: Hikuleo is in Saudi Arabia. He is there. What if there's a monster bomb that could drop, that could blow everything up? I hope not, and I hope that Jacob does win because right now he's the hottest thing right now in WWE. But I would not be stunned if Hikuleo shows up and costs Jacob the title. Winner and still champion, I'm going to say is Jacob Fatu. But again, I would not be surprised if we hear an and new. History will be made, but I do believe it will not be an unprecedented crowning. So, but I do have Jacob Fatu winning and keeping the title. Anthony, it's yours.
I agree. I got to go with Jacob Fatu to retain the United States Heavyweight Championship. I still feel it's a little too soon to take the title off of him. He won it at Mania. He should get a good run with it, and that's all there is to it. So Winner and still U.S. champion, it's Jacob Fatu. Next match.
All right, next up, Queen of the Ring final. It is Asuka versus Jade Cargill. Now, remember the stipulation that the winner of the match gets an automatic title shot at SummerSlam. I've already laid out the parameters why I think it should be Asuka. I think it will be because I think Naomi's going to show up to deliberately screw over Jade Cargill. Because remember, she did show up in the promo about wanting to cash in at SummerSlam. But what is the bigger threat? I think she wants to go after the SmackDown title, and the reason why that you don't want Jade to be there, because if Jade's there, she's the biggest threat because she could easily take down Naomi and thwart all the process of getting the opportunity. So what do? She interferes in the match, costs Jade Cargill the Queen of the Ring, takes her out of the title picture so that she could be the one to take down Tiffany Stratton and get the belt for herself. Winner of the Queen of the Ring tournament, representing Monday Night Raw, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Anthony, it is yours.
I have been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on this matchup, and there's only one correct logical answer to this question. It's Asuka. I agree. It's got to be. What a better way for her to, she was out of action for over a year. What a great story this would be for Asuka to come back, win the Queen of the Ring, set up what will be a certifiable banger at SummerSlam against Io Sky. There's only one way we can get there, and that is with Asuka winning Queen of the Ring. And I think this is how it should go. I 110% agree with everything that MF says. Even though WWE does seem ready to pull the trigger on Jade Cargill, she is visually one of WWE's most impressive superstars. There might be concern over Cargill's ability to carry a major singles program. But Asuka is talented enough to help maximize Cargill's stock on the way there. This is the pick that I am the least confident about. Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton lack the experience to guarantee a good match. And like I said, Asuka and Io was a certified banger. So this is the one time I got to go with my heart instead of my gut. My gut told me to go with Cargill, honestly. But MF's theory makes perfect sense. And that is why I'm going to agree with him. And I am going to go with Asuka to win the Queen of the Ring and continue this great comeback story after being out for 13 long months. Io and Asuka. Does that sound like a SummerSlam match? Yes, it 1,000 times yes.
It does. Yeah.
Give me Asuka. Bullock.
Yeah, after all that, I'm gonna make it unanimous, and I'm gonna go with Asuka. I mean, Asuka and Io Sky at SummerSlam. Now that's a SummerSlam type match. I mean, now that I think of it, I mean, do you really think Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton is a SummerSlam caliber match?
Absolutely not.
No way. That's more of something you could do on a Smackdown.
Or a B pay-per-view.
Not SummerSlam. Not the biggest event of the summer.
What I would say is if Jade is able to get the belt and that Naomi can get back or have the money in the bank, I think the money match would be if they could pull it off. Jade versus Bianca versus Naomi A triple threat would be SummerSlam worthy. Not in the current iteration right now.
And the last time I checked, Fletch, Bianca's still hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you just said there, Fletch, that's more of a SummerSlam caliber match. Not Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. Io Sky and Asuka is more of a SummerSlam caliber match. And for that to happen, Asuka needs to win Queen of the Ring. So I'm making it unanimous here. So it is yours, Fletch.
All right, next up that we did have is the men's King of the Ring final. Randy Orton going one-on-one with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I believe this goes to, Anthony, it's yours.
All right. And one other thing about the Asuka thing, Queen of the Ring is the only accolade Asuka's never held. She's done everything else there is. She's won all the titles. She's been Money in the Bank. She won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. And they give her Queen of the Ring. You may as well give her the keys to the Hall of Fame right now. So, simple there. All right, now, as far as this is concerned, I got a feeling Michael Bullock's going to be the impartial tiebreaker here because you know where MF and I are going to stand on this. And I'm going to make the argument for my guy, Cody Rhodes, and here's why. WWE is clearly working towards another encounter between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare and Jey Uso defeated John Cena and Logan Paul at Money in the Bank, where, oh, by the way, Cody pinned Cena. And that gave Cody Rhodes ammo for a rematch. That's a championship committee moment right there. Cena and Orton recently had a match that ticked the right boxes, but with all due respect, doesn't really need a sequel. Cena versus Rhodes 2, a sequel to their WrestleMania main event, I fully believe in, with all due respect, is the right scale for the first two-night SummerSlam. And it should main event night 2. So for me, the winner and 2025 Men's King of the Ring, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, I know Randy Orton, this is the only accolade he's never won. He's won all the titles. He's won 2 Royal Rumbles. He's also a former Mr. Money in the Bank with a successful cash-in. And there is an argument to be made for him after after coming so painfully close to Gunther a year ago. There's an argument to be made for Randy Orton. Yes, I would love to see him get King of the Ring. I would love to see him check off every championship accolade box. But with all due respect, MF, the plan is Cena Rhodes 2 in the SummerSlam. And for that to happen, Cody Rhodes has to win King of the Ring. So for me, the King of the Ring for 2025, none other than my guy, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, I have to go with Cody Rhodes as well, even though you could also make the case for Randy Orton because, like you just said, Florio, that's the only accolade he has never won. He's never won King of the Ring, and he was so close to doing it. As a matter of fact, I think he should have won it because remember what happened in the finals against Gunther last year, boys? What happened?
Yeah,
his shoulder. Dan Angler counted him down, even though his shoulder was up.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can make a valid argument that Orton should win it because of that, and literally make it up to him. But I think the end game here is for Cena and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. And for that to happen, Cody needs to win. And they've already done Cena and Orton at Backlash. And if they want to make up for what happened with the main event of WrestleMania, you need to have these two go at it again at the biggest event of the summer. Cody Rhodes wins, but you could also make the argument for Randy Orton for those two main reasons. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah. This is frustrating because obviously, I think Orton needs to get that win back. He does. He should have won. I get it that they made him with everything else and the whole 9 yards. The thing is that the one rumor I've been hearing is that they might turn Cody heel very soon. And what if Orton winning King of the Ring, getting that second shot, sends Cody into the deep end? I mean, that would be logical because his desire to go after Cena one more time. But the thing is that Orton is so over right now that, and the thing was, prior to this, the fans were booing Cody. I know WWE was listening to that. I know they were hearing the bluebirds. That I know they were hearing that, and they're probably thinking in the back of their minds is, so you want to boo Cody, huh? Okay, we hear you. What if they decide to pull the switch? What if they let Orton win the King of the Ring? Cody goes off on a jealous rage and triggers it, prompting it to be a triple threat. That Cody, Orton gets his shot, but now Cody gets involved because, he weaseled his way in. Makes it a triple threat for the title. Orton versus Cena versus Cody. You still get what you want. You get Cody and Orton. You still get Cody and Cena. But then you get Orton into the mix. A third guy. So now what do? Now do you align yourself? Say, this is the way that I would think, logically. Because you could even do Cody winning, fine, Cena versus Cody, but Orton's going to be there. And Orton's going to maybe go off on a jealous rage because Orton is Orton. So what's the play? Either you give Orton the King of the Ring and let Cody go off on a rage. And the thing is, there's been some people pushing for Cody to go heel. Because some people are kind of a little tired of the babyface Cody. Orton cannot go heel because, did you hear that reaction he got in Saudi Arabia today? Have you been hearing the reactions he's been getting all over the world? Singing his theme song? Are you kidding me? Orton is the most over guy. What would be the one thing that WWE could do that would be absolutely shocking that nobody saw coming? The American Nightmare going rogue. That would be smart. That would be innovative. Yes, would that offend Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock? You damn right. But guess what? Sometimes you got to get offensive to do the right thing. Sometimes you need to flip the switch and do things that a little out of conventional. They had the guts and the balls to turn Cena heel and do it, and they pulled the trigger on it. Now all of a sudden, the fans love Cena again. Oh, please don't turn him heel anymore. We made a mistake. That was a bad move. We wanted Cena to be heel all this time, but now he's leaving, so we can't do that. So what do? The minute Cody loses, you turned on him. You started booing him. And why? Because he failed at WrestleMania? No. Because you were sick and tired of seeing Cody Rhodes on top. You were sick and tired of seeing Cody Rhodes on top because he was always there at the mix, being in the title fight. You're going to get Cody Rhodes booed at SummerSlam if you do this. You know this. I know this. The fans don't want it. So what do? You turn Cody heel. You said, oh, you're booing me? After you guys led me to finish my story at WrestleMania that this is the disrespect you give me? Fuck you. That's what I would be saying right now. That is the way I would be treating this right now. You didn't do nothing for me. You stabbed me in the back by booing me after I lost at WrestleMania. I don't owe you a goddamn thing anymore. I do this for myself. You want the real American nightmare? Welcome to the nightmare now. Let Randy Orton win the King of the Ring. Let Cody go flip. Let him turn heel. Then you got a heel Cody Rhodes, a Cena in between, and a babyface Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Do I have your attention now? Nothing more to say. Anthony Faleo, go ahead and take. It's time for RWA Pinnacle. It's yours.
Well, we have one more match left.
Oh, that's right. The main event.
Wow. Holy smokes.
Cena versus CM Punk for the title. It's easy. It's John Cena. Nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
It feels like every Cena match is the right time for him to lose. That's largely because his heel champion run, until his pipe bomb reversal, wasn't really doing much of anything, but until that pipe bomb reversal on Punk. Punk and Cena have had a great rivalry in the past, in part because it wasn't run into the ground like Cena's rivalry with Randy Orton in the past. Ultimately, it makes no sense for Cena to drop the belt right now, especially in Saudi Arabia. The best we can hope for is a little of the old magic between the two, and for it to build to a little momentum for Cena before he does eventually drop the title. So, winner and still WWE champion, it is John Cena. Bullet quickly, and then I'll get into the results of our RWA spectacle.
Well, first off, Florio, I gotta do like what you said before, especially after what Fletch did. I mean, in the immoral words of Regis Philbin, now how do you follow that?
You can't, and you won't.
I mean, I'm not even gonna make an attempt to. I'm not even gonna try.
Me neither.
So, man, Fletch is on an absolute roll tonight with our show. Oof.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
This is why I said this is not a bad thing.
This is a good thing.
A good thing.
A damn good thing.
Cena wins, retains the title. Florio, it's all yours, man. RWA spectacle.
Yes, sir. I know we were supposed to do this Tuesday night, but Bullock and I had a late start, and we had to do a rapid fire show because of commitments, obviously. So that's why I moved it to tonight. And I also wanted MF here because, you know, in case he wanted to share any thoughts on any of the happenings. So, all right. RWA spectacle last Saturday night from the Johnston Rec Center in Johnston, Rhode Island. First things first, a special shout out to Special Olympics Rhode Island CEO Ed Pacheco for hooking up Michael Bullock with the tickets. Very wanted to make sure he got a special shout out. Next shout out. Now, here's the thing. We tried to go to This Guy's Pub before the show, but little did we know that they had booked a graduation party at that same time. So we had to find another place. And thankfully, not too far from there, we found a place called Hometown Pizza and Subs on Killingly Street in Johnston. And we want to send a special shout out to the gentleman who waited on us. His name was Ryan. And I tell you, Ryan, not only did it feel like he was one of us, but he also treated us like family. And absolutely first-class service by Mr. Ryan there. So we thank you very much, sir. And
that's a yeet for that one.
And if we're ever in that area again, we will most certainly consider going back there for a pre-show grub for sure.
Oh, you're damn right.
It was myself, Michael Bullock, and our dear friends Mike Silvera and Brian Keenan. And here we go. It started off with a promo. The Mind Eraser, Mike Rassa, the RWA World Heavyweight Champion, along with his beautiful wife, he cut a promo. He announced that he dislocated his ankle and that he was set for surgery. And because of that, Mike Rosser had to relinquish the RWA World Heavyweight Championship. And a fatal four-way match between the Riot, Kellen Thomas, John Steele, who Mike Rosser was originally supposed to defend the title against, as well as Jason Blade and Antonio Watama. The winner of that fatal four-way would become the brand new RWA World Heavyweight Champion. We'll get into that in a little bit. First match of the night, it was Pretty Poppy squaring off against Nick Marchand. Nick Marchand wins the match. Next match, it was Jeremy Lacroix with Roxanne Fury in his corner, squaring off against Cipriano Abruzzi. Cipriano Abruzzi picks up the win in that one. 6-man tag team action. The Hoods, Shea Cash and Shady Shea Cash, former champion. I don't remember who the other two guys are. MF probably knows those guys. So they went up against the Dirt City Murder Crew, Jason Devine and his tag team partner, along with the legend Wolverine. The Hoods win this match. Jason Devine turned on his partner. Jason Devine is now a member of the Hoods. How about that? First shocker of the night right there. Next up, we had Will Kenway squaring off against Patrick Saint. Patrick Saint wins the match. This was the shortest fight of the night, and Patrick Saint spearing Will Kenway in midair. Unbelievable moment there. Mixed tag team matchup. The king and queen of RWA, Brandon Michael Thomas, BMT, and Ariel. They squared off against JT Dunn and his mystery partner, who turned out to be Trigger the OG. Oh, man, oh man. And we had a special guest referee, another New England wrestling legend, Jose Perez, served as the special guest referee. And when all was said and done, BMT and Ariel steals the win because of the Royal Guard. They got involved, and it was enough. There was a ref bump. Jose Perez got knocked out for a little bit, but BMT and Ariel did pick up the win. Then we had an intermission. And when they went to the intermission, yes, MF, I made sure to do it as you would. I did the gorilla from WrestleMania 6. Everybody's out getting groceries. We'll be back in 10. I pulled that, and I did that for you. And then after the intermission, it was another six-man tag team match. RWA Ocean State champion, the Mighty Bosch, with Sid Morrigan in his corner, teaming up with Hustle and Muscle, and they squared off against the Collective and Nick Diamond. Nick Diamond and the Collective win this match. Nick Diamond pinning the RWA Ocean State champion, the Mighty Bosch. You know what that means. Championship committee moment. And Mighty Bosch went on RWA's Instagram page and said that he is going to defend the RWA Ocean State Championship against Nick Diamond at the next event, RWA Legacy. And we'll have more details on that in just a moment. Then we had a member of the Royal Guard, Peter Gianni. He squared off against Coach Will. Coach Will wins the match. After the match was over, the Royal Guard came out and attacked Coach Will. That led to AJP, the entitled one, and Stephen Lust, and they ran everybody out. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes the owner of RWA, T Phoenix, and he got in the face of the Royal Guard, and he's like, "You guys want to fight so bad? Okay. How about you boys put your RWA Tag Team Championships on the line against AJP and Stephen Lust right now?" So we had an impromptu match. The Royal Guard defending the RWA World Tag Team Championship against AJP and Stephen Lust. Winners of the match and new RWA World Tag Team Champions, AJP and Steven Lust. And yes, MF, I did it. History was made, unprecedented crowning. AJP and Steven Lust, the new World Tag Team Champions. Then it was the Fatal 4-Way to determine the brand new RWA World Heavyweight Champion. The Riot, Kellen Thomas versus John Steele versus Jason Blade versus Antonio Atama. The winner of the match and the new RWA World Heavyweight Champion, Antonio Atama. Atama wins the title. And then in the main event of the evening, inside a steel temper cage, former tag team partners as part of the Losers, Tom Billington squaring off against Sean Leader. Of course, Tom Billington had the Insane Dick Lane in his corner. And before the match started, the Insane Dick Lane cut a scathing heel promo. And I'm like, really? When did this guy turn heel? I thought he was one of the most beloved guys in all of RWA. I mean, I was surprised beyond words. So it led to Tom Billington against Sean Leader. Sean Leader wins the match. He did a dive off the cage. Look at this, I screamed out. And Leader wins the match. An all-around wonderful night. RWA Spectacle, a benefit for Rhode Island Special Olympics. All the proceeds went to Rhode Island Special Olympics. And the four of us, we had the time of our lives. It sucked that MF couldn't be there with us. But then again, we also wish that our other dear friend Mike Keenan could have been there with us. But Bullock only had enough tickets for 4. So, it is what it is. But it felt so surreal to be at an RWA show without MF, because MF is our port authority on the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. He has done outstanding work with them over the last 9 or 10 years or so, including some videos he's done on his right here on Braves Fan 95. Go into his archives and check those out if you haven't already. So another special shout out this time to the wonderful folks of RWA. Go out of your way to see an RWA show. And I'm going to tell you what, MF, I told you this, and I'm going to tell you again right now. Mike Silvera and Brian Keenan had so much fun at this show that they want to go to the next show. They want to go to RWA Legacy, which is the next show. Saturday night, August 23rd, from the St. Anthony's Church in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And then the next 2 events after that, I can confirm this because I saw it on the monitor near the entrance ramp. RWA Encore will take place on Saturday night, September the 20th, from the Our Lady of Rosary Church Function Hall in Providence, Rhode Island. And then on Sunday night, October the 19th, the annual Halloween tradition that MF knows all too well, RWA Devil's Night. Sunday, October 19th, also from the Our Lady of Rosary Church Function Hall in Providence, Rhode Island. So an all-around great time. And we hung out. We got to hang out with Wolverine for a little bit. Awesomeness right there. I mean, that atmosphere. They do such a great job with the family-friendly atmosphere. And also, I do want to give a shout-out to MF for introducing us to this. And now we're hooked, and now we got 2 new fans in Mike Silvera and Brian Keenan. They had the time of their lives. They got to meet Wolverine also, and Brian Keenan also did a great job making the videos. He also took some videos of the event as well. So an all around great night. And MF, I wish you could have been there, but it is what it is. But hopefully we can all be there on August the 23rd at the St. Anthony's Church in Pawtucket for the biggest event of the year for RWA, Legacy. So it seems like we have one match all but confirmed with the Mighty Bosch defending the RWA Ocean State Championship against Nick Diamond. So that's all I know for right now. So MF, if you have any quick thoughts or comments, feel free. And that was Spectacle. The only thing I wish is I wish you were there, man.
Yeah, no. I wish I was there, but work commitments beyond my control. Hopefully, I'll be able to go to the next one. We'll see. Um, yeah, no, this was awesome, man. There's really nothing more to say, and yeah, we're done. So tomorrow night, we will have a recap at 10:30 of the Night of Champions, and we'll be back here right here on Brace Fan 95. We're only just going to be covering that, and then we'll be doing the rest of the week. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. For Michael Bullock and Anthony Flair, Michael Fletcher. So long, everybody. See you tomorrow night.